This week, ferrets.
Extreme close-ups.
And we do not reward failure.
This is the front page. Welcome to the front page, the show that brings you the top content of the week from the social news website Reddit.com. I'm Tyler Slayton.
And I'm Neil Figuracion.
How are things?
They're really great. I just finished... Thank you. I just finished the run of Spectacle Spectacular at MCL Chicago, and it was awesome. The second night, after we'd worked out our first night kinks, was just a full house full of really supportive folks, and our cast and our crew totally knew how to handle the show.
Right on.
And it was a lot of fun.
I imagine it would be, being an improvised thing, it would be harder for the crew, even more so than the...
Well, it's not so hard. I mean, lighting and stuff is something you have to do on the spot.
Maybe just not what they're used to, I guess.
No, this theater specifically set up for this stuff, so that's something they do all the time.
Nice, all right.
But yeah, I mean, being in improvised shows, lighting is something that is often totally ignored, or just left up totally flat. Or if you do like some theaters, you have people who are designated improvising light performers.
Nice.
Like their job is to do the lights.
Awesome. That's very cool. All right.
Yeah. But it was a fun show. Not just the lights, lots of singing and dancing, and I'm sure there were tears shed. I did. That's because feelings and emotions.
All the feels, as the kids say.
So I'm very proud of the entire cast. They did such an awesome job bringing this together, and breaking even could happen because we filled the house.
Fantastic. That's that's maybe the best news out of. Well, no, it's not the best, but it's,
I mean, if we had a smaller budget, then we'd do better than breaking even. But
that's ain't that always the way?
Yeah, you know.
Well, that's super cool, but I think we should get into the show.
What's the show?
The show is the front page, where we talk about the top content of the week from the social news website Reddit.com.
I'm glad we're not redundant. Cool.
Redundant. We are redundant. That was on the bottom of the screen as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. This first story is from the subreddit Technology, submitted by Serial007. I built a Twitter bot that entered and won 1,000 online contests for me. So, you're on the Twitter, as am I.
Yes. So at Fad23. At
Tyler Slayton. So you're familiar with these Twitter contests where it's like retweet and you could win, an iPad or a whole bunch of stuff. It's like every day there's something in your feed that's like, from someone else retweeting it. So this guy did. I
pretty much exclusively retweet.
Right. Sorry. As does this person. This guy's name is Hunter Scott, and he wrote a Python script that logs onto Twitter, searches for tweets that say something along the lines of like retweet to win, and then retweets them. He said the biggest challenge in this is, I guess, Twitter has, what did they call it? Rate limits that make it so you can't aggressively retweet, which is a quote from this. But they don't put those out there, so we had to trial and error it to cap the numbers at a certain
to figure out where he wasn't getting locked down.
Yeah, how many times per day he could do that. He had to figure that out. It says over 9 months he ran the script and entered 165,000 contests and won 1,000 of them. So, just over 0.5%.
I mean, he's not winning everything. However, he's winning more things than I win on Twitter.
This is true. But I think once you hear the sort of things he won, because I read that.
I mean, this screen has colorful stuff on it.
Sure. And I read that headline. I was like, this is genius. Why didn't I think of this? Well, it says that a good portion of those winnings were customized images for gaming or YouTube profile.
Okay.
So a bunch of them, I didn't even know that people give out, we'll make you an avatar. Yay! So that's exciting. Another very large percentage of the things were tickets to events. Unfortunately, there were a bunch of tickets to events in, countries he doesn't live in. He got a lot of online currency, so, a lot of FIFA stuff to buy, jerseys and the game FIFA and stuff.
Oh, okay. For the NHL, or the soccer game?
Yeah.
The video.
The football game, sir. We have a global audience, all right? We need to...
Right.
I guess while he was doing this, that game Destiny was giving out their beta codes, so he won like 30 beta codes.
Well, all right.
The most valuable thing he won was a trip to the New York Fashion Week.
That's awesome.
And it says it was included like a limo to the show if you lived near New York, and for you and a friend, and $500 spending money each.
That's enough for a couple days.
And tickets to like, fashion shows, I guess.
Right.
He didn't get it. He didn't claim it.
What?
I guess he doesn't live near New York, and he didn't want to pay the taxes because it's like a $4,000 prize.
Oh.
So, but this is my favorite part. His favorite thing that he won was a cowboy hat autographed by the stars of a Mexican soap opera that he'd never heard of.
Orale.
So, which you can see in the picture here. So apparently that's a cowboy hat sound with the cast of some sort of telenovela.
Oh my gosh.
Which, that is pretty good. And he just said that sort of summed up the randomness of...
There's a lot... 365 cats. There's some kind of bikini lady.
Yeah, some free crappy sunglasses.
Slayer or something? I can't quite...
Yeah, I don't know what that thing is the top is, but it looks like a cool 80s album cover. But yeah, so probably a poster in there. I like the California pillow, actually.
I do too.
But yeah, so if you thought this was a super cool idea, which I'm sure this guy was like, I'm going to make, this is where I get my fortune. I'm going to live the rest of my life off of these. No, not really.
Still won many more things than I could think of.
I've won things on Twitter, but like, I realized that like any time that it's like, hey, retweet for tickets to this concert that happens this weekend, that just means we didn't sell enough tickets. Who wants free tickets? And we'll take your alcohol money. So that's all I've ever gotten.
Cool.
All right, moving on. One thing that we unfortunately do not do enough of on this show is video gaming stuff. Video gaming is obviously huge on Reddit, but I don't pick those.
That's that thing where you put quarters in the machine and then you press
We'll get to that, sir. But it's the thing where, out of context, like video games you're not familiar with, like even me who plays a fair amount, like I'll see something from League of Legends, and it'll be like, epic, this, that, and the other thing, and I'll watch it, I'll go, I have no idea what's going on. Like, the purple sparkly things seem to be affecting the blue sparkly things, and that's all I can gather from this video. So it's cool to find there's a lot of gaming stuff this week, so we have several gaming stories. These are all going to be from the subreddit gaming. First one, no, trust me, more than you realize, you'll appreciate this. This is submitted by Zadok Pate.
All right.
Go with that. Another name I can't pronounce. Toru Iwatani shows off his original drafts for Pac-Man. So this is the creator of Pac-Man showing off all of the original, like, it's on, like, graph paper. So this must have been from late 70s.
Early 70s, because Pac-Man was 1977.
Okay, yeah. So depending on how long that development took, but, like, so he did all the, like, individual...
I was there.
I remember that shit. So yeah, he, like, did all the individual sprites and stuff, and...
They didn't have tunnels on the map.
There are tunnels on the map, I think.
Side tunnels?
The original had no side tunnel.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do you think they, like, play tested? I wonder if they did that. They, like, play tested it and see, like, this would be better if you could get to the other side real quick, or if it all had to come up.
I'm sure they must have play tested it. It's a game.
Sure. Unfortunately, this gets giant, but you can see, like, so he did the death animation, how
Turning
the ghosts change. Yeah.
Like left, right, up, down, and ghost.
Right.
Blue ghost.
The different, like, pellets over here. But yeah, super cool that this, like, started on paper and then went to, one of the biggest games of all time.
Like, historically huge.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but I thought that was great.
That's cool.
But moving on in gaming stuff, I sort of did this chronologically, which is fun.
It's not on cardboard. I might not know it.
This is an ad from, I don't even know him, but this is also submitted to the subreddit gaming. And the title is just, graphics so real, you'll forget it's only a game. And it's an advertisement for Gargo's Quest on the original Game Boy. Did you have a Game Boy?
I remember Game Boy existing.
I had this game. I remember this.
I never owned one. I remember like during college there was like the Game Boy truck that would come around and like throw a Game Boy party that you could like.
I'm sorry.
It was promoting
what?
things. Yeah,
Where was this Game Boy truck?
was like a big old van full of.
Did you go to
Game
college
Boys.
at Hogwarts? That sounds amazing.
No, it was just college. You know, like they had
Oh, college, you know.
promo stuff. Like they
Yeah,
just wanted
Game
to
Boy
sell people
truck,
that had
pizza cannon,
bad
all sorts of things.
with jalapeno and pineapples.
Let's not get into it. Really broke the show once. But yeah, I remember this game. This game is just a totally mediocre, like, platformer game.
But you'll forget it's only a game because the graphics are so real.
At no point did I go, wow, so real.
That's really a dragon, and also gold.
Right.
I assume there's gold in the game.
I'm sure there. Well, yeah, that's what. I didn't understand currency unless it was gold at that age.
Yeah, they're going to sell you
I
drachmas.
wish there was a. It's really tiny. There might be a date on there, but it must have been 88, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe a little later. Because the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, with its... Remember the original Game Boy took 4 AA batteries?
No, I never owned one. I never owned one.
The Gargoyle Quest was trying to find power for that thing.
And I might have been wrong about Pac-Man earlier. I think it might have been 1980.
I want to say it was late 70s,
Yeah.
but I might be wrong also. Although,
It's a long time ago.
I might be thinking of Pong.
I was there.
But yeah, I don't know. I love these old, like if you go back to like an old comic book or something. It's just like,
I love looking at the
this
cartoon
convinced-
ads.
Oh yeah.
I can see the Snorks. And it's on right against Johnny Quest.
I don't remember this ad specifically, but I'm wondering if this fooled me into like, well, graphics so real. Like gotta buy this gargoyle game.
I feel like the next 20 years of comic book video game ads were, it's so real.
Right. I'm wondering that because that changed at one point. Do you remember you would have the amazing like cover design for it? It would look like something spray painted on the side of like a van in the 70s. And you're like, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
Oh, that square shot a line at that other square, and it was epic. Like, when did that stop?
Berserk. Yeah.
Now you get to a point where it's like, if you see a trailer, and it's like, it's pre-rendered footage. This is garbage, man. This game's gonna suck.
Actually, I think everything's gone back. I mean, since the 8-bit revolution, like everything went all 8-bit.
That's true. You can do amazing things with. Although people always say 8-bit, it's 16-bit. Anything cool you see that's like blocky is always 16-bit. It's never actually 8-bit. That's me on my nerd soapbox. Just be like, it's 16-bit, ladies.
We're talking about our thing.
Right. All right. Well, and the next story actually goes along with this. Submitted by a real human. Thank you for having a readable username. When you go back to play your favorite childhood games, and I thought this went along with it nicely, how you remember it looking, how it really looked. Right, I do remember this. Like, this reminds me of, there was a, this was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. They re-released a Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. It was, I don't know, like Street Fighter are numbered weirdly, but it was, they redid everything. So like all new hand-drawn animation, so it looked, and basically all that effort made it look how you remember it looking when you originally played it. Mm-hmm. So you would, so like you'd see like the game playing, it's like that doesn't look, they did that doesn't look that great. Then you like compare it to the old game, you're like, oh my god, it's this is they worked magic on this.
Well, I remember when the original Street Fighter had giant cushiony buttons that you were supposed to punch.
Really?
Yeah.
That's another thing that went away, I think, is I remember when I was a kid, there's a lot of like interactive. Like, do you remember the robot arm wrestling game?
Vaguely?
It was in arcades. It was there was like a.
I probably
there was a
played
robot
against it.
arm
Yeah.
that came out of the machine. You had to arm wrestle it.
Well, that was like, I think. Yeah, I mean that's probably an old standard.
That stuff you could get away with in that era. Now it would just be like one kid hurts themselves. They own They own an arcade now. Awesome.
Well, I mean that's worth all that much at this point.
Yeah, I remember that there was other ones. There was like specific, like one where you you punched there would be a guy on a screen, but you punched like a pad.
Yeah.
It was like you were like fighting that person, and now seems like crazy.
Well, like Dance Dance Revolution is where those kind of games went. I remember playing. I don't remember. I'm not going to talk about it.
Although I feel like
you were on a cycle that you were flying through the air on.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah,
that game's terrible.
But I loved it. ZZ.
Is that a thing from that game?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Well.
I spent a lot of time
on ZZ. We'll move along to the next story.
I'm just looking back my hair.
Oh, this is funny. I've never heard of this game. Do you ever heard of a game called Balance of Power? It was like a PC game. It came out in 1990, apparently. But someone put this up. It's a screen grab. This was put up by Saints Canucks. I guess he's a fan of both teams.
Okay.
I thought it was Saint Canucks. But Saints Canucks, Balance of Power 1990 game over screen, which looks like this. And it says, you have ignited a nuclear war. Nuclear
What
war.
did you do?
I know. I went all George Bush. I feel so dirty. Sorry. A nuclear war. And no, there is no animated display of a mushroom cloud with parts and bodies flying through the air. We don't reward failure. Which, it's not bad enough that you lost this game. It's like, no, we don't reward your failure. You're a disappointment to the Balance of Power developers.
So I guess start over?
Yeah, I guess it's a kind of Age of Empires.
I feel like it must have been like the United States versus Russia if it's 1990.
I think it was that, yeah.
And nuclear war. See, not nuclear.
Sorry.
Well, it was 1990, so it might have been nuclear.
That is also one of those things that I, in my head, go, which one's right? Right before I say it, but I didn't this time. I swear to God, I'm not an idiot. It's just, I'm cursed.
It's topical.
What is topical?
George Bush.
Why is that topical?
Because this was 1990.
You're saying this was topical. I was like, what's happening now? What aren't you telling me?
Oh, no, we're not actually in a nuclear war with... Yeah,
well,
we're not actually having a visual war with Russia. Not anything that I know about.
Not a visual war.
I mean, spies and stuff, but...
But yeah, I just thought this was really fun. This is not an American thing, but like, we don't reward failure it's a foreign concept to...
Oh, you mean no participation medals?
Right, exactly, yes. I want the most improved trophy at the end of my game.
Hey, most improved is a helpful note. All right.
All right. One more gaming story. And I like the title. This is submitted by Dorinda777. Ever heard of Pacapong? This is a shut up and take my money moment. This is the game called Pacapong. It's a combination of Pac-Man, Pong, and Space Invaders.
That is crazy.
Right? Apparently the guy on the right is losing pretty bad, but like I very much want to play this.
Yeah.
It's
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, they throw some Donkey Kong in just because they can. I don't think this game is in any way official, but you can get it. It's
They're eating little Space Invaders.
Oh, the whole thing. It's developed by a studio called King Penguin. I think it's out of like Norway or Sweden or something. Oh, you won.
You won.
Nice, good comeback. But yeah,
I couldn't even fathom how you would put all of those games together into one thing.
Yeah, I wanted to know, like, he was just sitting around and going, yeah, it'd be great. You play 2 classic arcade games at once, and someone
Let's play 5.
Yeah, right? I can up that.
And let's attach it to a pinball machine.
This needs to be, I would play the hell out of this at an arcade.
It looks like fun.
At the 4 arcades,
I have to figure out how many buttons you'd need to make all of these controls happen.
I think it's just a joystick and a single button.
Really?
Because maybe 2, because you got to control the shooting.
I figure you have to control the Pacu.
Yes. Well, no, I don't know. I think it just goes. I might be wrong.
No, because it's not just going one directionally.
Yeah, but Pac-Man will just go if you don't do anything.
Well, if you hit a corner language,
we should maybe download the game and check it out. Which we can't do that here because then we'll get no work done. Like this show will never get one more Pacapong,
Let's do it. Pacapong.
All right. So that's it for gaming stories. But I thought maybe for our next thing we could play a game.
What?
Yes. This next thing submitted to the subreddit.
Dungeon Lords.
Submitted to the subreddit. One of our favorites. Whoa, dude.
Whoa.
By Infrastation. These are pictures of extreme close-ups of things. And I want you to try and guess what these extreme close-ups are. All right? This is apparently done with some sort of microscopic camera lens or something. But this is no hints?
It's either Parmesan cheese. It's either Parmesan cheese or shag carpet.
You're wrong. Those are pages of a book.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, this is so that'll give you a hint exactly how close we're getting to these things.
Right.
All right.
I'm just hungry for cheese.
So next one, what do you think that is?
That is so that's an object or a piece of an object. That's like
Yes, it is a thing. It's definitely a noun.
It's a Cinnabon.
No, it says apple stalk. I think they meant apple stem.
Okay, ew.
Right, yeah. Things are freaky
Gross when they're
up.
close, yeah.
All right, this one I think you can get.
That is, that's a giant football racing toward the sun. It's a match.
That is a match.
Okay.
Very good. You matched it. All right, so you got one.
But
right.
I first thought
Next
it was...
one. I like this one.
That is caramel corn?
Ooh, very close.
What?
Cornflakes.
Oh, yeah. I felt like corn was part of the structure of this makeup.
All right. This one's weird.
That's sugar.
No.
No. Sperm?
No.
Sugar sperm?
No, but that sounds gross.
I mean, some people dig it.
Sure.
I don't know.
I shouldn't judge. It's 2015. We can't. Yeah. All right. No more guesses? That's a tea bag.
Hey, yeah, that does look like a tea bag.
Yeah, they got those weird, like, woven things. All right.
Yeah.
This one is weird. I'll give you a hint.
That's the tread of a shoe.
No, good guess. It is not organic. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was. Well, it didn't look organic. What is it?
That is the X key of a keyboard.
Ah.
Right, yeah. It's
Oh, that's like fingerprints on it?
Yeah, that's like fingerprints and then like that weird texture-y stuff
That's hair. That's a person's hair.
That might be, yeah. It's kind of gross. You should clean your keyboard.
Ew.
Whoever took these pictures. All right. This one.
That is a nail of someone who's been painted.
No. It does have to do with makeup.
That is a lipstick.
That is a lipstick. This one.
That is, what is that, a gear for a clock?
No. As a serrated knife.
Oh, wow.
All right. So I think it's fun.
That is a hot glue gun and...
No. Maybe it's also food.
Cheese.
No.
I want things to be cheese.
That is a spaghetti noodle. An uncooked spaghetti noodle.
Well, when it's not cooked, it's not food.
Well, you never eaten raw spaghetti?
Why would I?
You never done that?
No.
You just like impatient. You have to wait for a pot to boil. So
That's a part of the experience.
I know, but you get impatient. You're like, I gotta chew on something. I don't know. Clearly, I have less patience than you.
Okay, well...
All right, last one. You gotta redeem yourself.
That is a ballpoint pen end.
That is exactly a ballpoint pen.
For red ink.
So, was anyone keeping track of that? What do you get? 3? 3 out of 10? You failed.
No. I got 3 out of 10. I succeeded at getting 3 out of 10.
That was what you were going for?
Yeah. I had no goal.
Oh, all right. You know what? I didn't.
The bar was never set.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But yeah, I thought those were.
How many did you get?
Are we Dora the Explorer? What is it?
You found it.
But yeah, I thought those were super cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones. There was a screw there that was too obvious.
Screw.
It's really uninteresting one where it's like, it just says beach stone. And you're like, all right, that's not fun. this photographer needs to really was very limited on the things he had around
Well,
him.
he didn't, I'm sure didn't intend for these to be puzzles. Or sure, you're right. I thought you said it was a he earlier, but maybe that's just my patriarchy.
But yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, so some of them look cool, but it's just it's not interesting. It wasn't fun for the game. All right. Moving on. This one is also from subreddit WoDude, submitted by Jordan311R. He's apparently some sort of droid or something. I love this. This is my favorite title of the week. It's "This Fucking Painting. I'm sorry in advance, guys."
Hot.
Yeah, but try and actually look at it.
Yeah.
Your brain kind of melts a little. It's just you try and focus on one set of eyes, and your brain goes, "What? What do you want me to do with this? I can't with the."
I'm having a magic eye moment.
Right, and it's a painting too. It's not like they didn't
computer digitized.
Yeah, they didn't just Photoshop this, and it's
rad.
A crazy good painting. But the fact that they can break your mind with,
I mean, that, sometimes you meet someone that you're attracted to and you kind of forget what they look like, and this is what I do.
You just go with this?
Where did those eyes go? Damn, she was
I feel
cute.
like this is it kind of makes you feel drunk, and there's the hot girl at the bar, and then maybe you find out later that she's not so hot. But this is what is in your actual vision.
You just made a totally alien reference to me.
Because what part of that was alien?
Being at a bar, drunk.
Being at a bar, drunk, those are alien to you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Do you not drink?
I drink when I feel like it, which is not often.
I just like your stance. I drink when I feel like it, bro. This is where I take my stand. This is the hill I die on. Because I drink. No one tells me when to drink.
Pretty much.
I can respect that. I hate being told to drink. Come out and have a good time.
We're supposed to drink.
I don't want to.
I've got to drink.
There's no amount of alcohol in the world that make me have a good time with you. I want to stay home. You're terrible. This concert sucks.
Plus, I can imagine this in my own home. It's pretty awesome.
I know. You've got the internet. Reddit can give you all things.
I'm supposed to remember that I'm supposed to be ignorant of Reddit.
You should fix that, because.
But then how am I going to have reactions to the show that are completely... Anyway.
That's true. You just got to go into the underground. You're not allowed to look at the front page. You can't watch your own show.
I can't I've never have watched
I meant the literal front page. Anyway.
This is the literal front page.
All right, moving on. All right, so we're out of WoDude. Moved on to Science. Another one of our favorite subreddits. Submitted by Use Your Internet Voice. I like that one. Critically endangered species successfully reproduced using frozen sperm from ferret dead for 20 years.
Wow.
So the reason I picked this one, actually, is it's a little bit of local news. This was at Lincoln Park Zoo.
Oh.
This is at 20 minutes from here.
Oh. I was there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
I've actually never been.
It's free.
Yeah, I know, which just makes it weirder that I've never been.
You can walk around and see animals.
Well, I'm from suburbs, so I've lived near Brookfield. So, but yeah, I should probably go support that whole business.
Yeah, if it's free, you're not doing much support.
But I'm sure they have some sort of donation thing.
Ah.
A suggested donation. I've never paid it. But apparently the black-footed ferret is an endangered species. It's been critically endangered. It's from North America. And they now have renewed hope for future survival thanks to successful efforts by a coalition of conservationists, including scientists at Lincoln Park Zoo. So they're trying to reproduce genetically important offspring, which I guess just means they can also reproduce, using frozen semen from a ferret who has been dead for 20 years. So this ferret that died is the sire, as it's called, who was named Scarface.
Like on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Is that a thing? A sire?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Was it named Scarface?
Just anyone who was your full vampire was a...
All right. Fair enough. But Scarface was one of the last 18 black-footed ferrets to exist in the world. So this species went from, there was 18 of them. Like that's a softball game. Like that's it. That's all that was left of the species. And they had some frozen sperm from this ferret, and they're using it currently to inseminate female ferrets to bring the species back. I guess the 8 of them were born just based off of this one case.
Wow. So they go from 18 to almost nothing to...
Well, since then it's been bouncing back, but this is the first, so it's a giant breakthrough. I'll read this quote. Our study is the first to provide empirical evidence that artificial insemination with long-stored spermatozoa, which is an awesome word.
That's what you call sperm.
Yeah, if you can use that in Scrabble, it's worth 68 points.
There are other words for it I won't use.
It's not only possible, but also beneficial to the genetic diversity of an endangered species. So I guess the problem you run into when you're trying to bring back an endangered species is you have to, spread the genes out. You can't have them. You can't have sister cousins.
Ding, ding,
yeah,
ding,
exactly.
ding, ding, ding.
And they were afraid to use this long stored sperm to bring back species. They worried it wouldn't be enough diversity, but now this is proving that it's possible. So they want to take this and implement it in other endangered species conservation programs.
Wow.
But
makes me feel like there's hope for my love life.
that after you're 20 years after you're
when I'm dead,
you're gonna sire something.
There might still be a chance.
You're gonna sire the shit out of some kid.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Neil. There's hope for you yet.
I won't be deemed genetically inferior.
And also, as much as I am for conservation, we can both agree that people that own ferrets are weird, right?
I know people who own ferrets. Well, they were illegal in California, so I don't know.
Okay, and you lived in California.
Yeah.
So they were criminals. They were weird criminals.
Yes, they were weird criminals.
I just don't are ferrets that awesome that you can feel the need to break the law to have one? No.
But they also killed chickens, which was problematic.
Well, I kill chickens too, so not directly. But
then who's weird now?
Fair enough. All right, I'm as bad as a ferret. Okay, so one last story. I thought this was super cool. Do you recognize this gentleman?
No.
This was submitted to the subreddit Old School Cool, which is a really great big photography subreddit, by Disneyland Gangsta. That is astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah!
Back in the 70s when he used to wrestle.
Whoa.
And he was swole, dude. Like, that... He looks like he could rip you apart.
Yeah, man.
And now he's,
He's cuddlier.
He's cuddlier. He's definitely more friendly looking.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, and now he's also... I don't want to throw smartest man in the world.
He's a very recognizably smart person.
He's the go-to smart guy. When you need, when CNN is doing a story and they go,
yeah, if I can't be
smart person.
If I can't be the best Neil in the world, there are other Neils.
Right. As far as people are concerned,
way ahead of me.
Right. As far as the public is concerned, yes, smartest man in the world. Unless they're aware of Stephen Hawking.
Also smart.
Also smart. Lots of smart.
How do you say someone's smarter than someone else?
I'm sure there's contests or something. Spelling bees.
On Twitter.
I don't know how they.
You just hire a Twitter bot.
You retweet. Neil deGrasse Tyson does not help retweeting. I've seen that guy.
He gets retweeted. He's got a pretty good retweet.
His tweets will be 5 minutes old. It's 2,000 retweets. What? How? How does this happen? I'm lucky if my mom likes my stuff. Including this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Talk about us on social media, please.
Let's not throw that away. Talk about us on social media.
All right, fair enough. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the front page.
Stage 2 show.
Front page.